My name is Brandon Walker, and I host the Brandon Walker College Football Show right here on YouTube. Katie Stats, I made a mistake. I did not tweet out anything about the show. If you could get something out on Twitter, just say, hey, I'm talking about how wrong I was about Oklahoma football. I'm talking about how right I was about Penn State football, something along those lines. Put that right out there. 888-STOOL-22. What up, Uncle Kentucky? What up, Nathan Miller? What up, N. Hobson? What up, Wesley Stiller? Sarcastic Siren Smitty 2.0. Smitty, Deion's not going to Arizona State. I think he's going to Georgia Tech. But that's just my thinking. Justin Noble, Baby Luigi, Tojo, CZB. What's up, everybody? So glad you're here. Nathan Miller, Matt Blumenthal, Casey Miller, Spencer Phibbs, Matthew Culver, Cameron Cleary, Tommy Moore, Michael Meyer, Kobe Herring, Casey Miller. What's up, you dumb bitches? You big dumb bitches. I have got to right now get a little bit of flowers and props because I have had very few people come up to me and tell me that my shirt's incredible today, and my shirt is fucking incredible. This might be the best shirt I've ever worn. This is a Street Fighter 2 shirt, and not only does it have the characters sticking out like Chun-Li right there, E. Honda, I got Blanca down here, but the backgrounds are the actual backgrounds from Street Fighter 2. There's the actual scenes. Can you guys not see the shirt? It's incredible. There's Balrog, there's Blanca, there's Dalsum, there's everybody. Is that Dalsum or is that Sagat? No, that's Sagat up there. Sagat? I don't know how you say his name. Anyway, look at that. That's just an incredible shirt. Shout out to the boys over there at the shirt maker. Not that I can tell you what that is because I'm not. Hey, everybody. It's 8 Takes on a Monday. 8 Takes on a Monday for the Brandon Walker College Football Show to get us started this week. I am coming in and I am telling you exactly what's going on in college football. And it's a call-in show. You call in. You get ready. Here we go. 8 Takes on a Monday. I have never been more wrong about anything than I was wrong about Oklahoma, Nebraska. I was way off. I saw the line. I said the line doesn't make sense. Therefore, I'm going to go with Nebraska's side. And that was wrong. That was dumb. And it wasn't wrong for the reasons you're thinking. A lot of people would say, yeah, you were wrong. Nebraska's not any good. Nebraska's this. I knew Nebraska wasn't any good. I just thought the spot was going to illuminate them and bring them up, but it didn't. But I wasn't so much wrong about Nebraska because that would be an easy cop-out way to go. I was mostly wrong because I was wrong about Oklahoma football. I thought Oklahoma football would take a year of transition to Brent Venables. I thought Oklahoma football would not be as good this year. I thought Oklahoma, losing the transfers they did, Caleb Williams, a couple of others, receivers, defensive players, I thought they would struggle this year or at least not be as good. And what I saw out of Brent Venables the other day, and you can say they were playing a bad team, and they were, but what I saw was a team that is a lot different than the Lincoln Riley teams. Gone is the defensive sloppiness. Gone is the poor tackling. Gone is the lack of attention to detail on defense. This is not a team that is going to give up a lot of stupid plays, a lot of soft plays on defense. That's been eliminated. This is a team that the first guy to the ball usually makes a tackle. This is a team that is on their P's and Q's defensively. Offensively, you know they're always going to be good at Oklahoma because they get incredible recruits, skill player, quarterback, whatever. And they were good offensively. They were fantastic. But this Brent Venables defense has switched it around. I'm not just talking about them holding Nebraska to 14 points because Nebraska, again, sucks. But if you know what you're looking at, it's obvious this is a different team on the defensive side. So I was wrong. I was wrong about Oklahoma. I was bad wrong. 888-STOOL-22. Take number 2. I was right about Penn State. This is a good team. A very good football team. Auburn's not, but they walked into Auburn and treated them like a rag doll. They walked into Auburn and beat the piss out of them. They walked into Auburn and treated them like an FCS team. Auburn, no matter how good they are, is one of the toughest places to play in the country. Hell, Alabama played for a national title last year and went into Auburn the last week of the season and barely got out alive. It's hard to go in there and push them around. Penn State just did it. Some of Penn State's wins already, like their win against Purdue is going to age a hell of a lot better than you think, too. Purdue is not a bad football team. They're 1-2 after a road loss to Syracuse at the buzzer and a loss to Penn State at the buzzer. Purdue is going to age very well for Penn State. Penn State's a top 10 team. Clifford's a lot better than you think. They got the freshman behind him, the 5-star freshman who could take over at any moment. Their running back room is elite. Their defense is borderline elite. Penn State's going to matter this year. I thought maybe the Big Ten East would be about 3 teams: Ohio State, Michigan, Michigan State. Michigan State out, Penn State in. That's my opinion anyway. 8-8 Stool 22. This is Penn State year to knock off OSU for the Big Ten Championship, says Shadow Grace. I don't know if I agree with that, but they do have them at home. Take number 3. I said it was going to be bounce back Saturday. I looked you dead in your eyes last week, and I told you A&M's going to beat Miami, told you Oregon was going to beat BYU, and you said I was stupid. You said I was wrong. You said I was an idiot. Well, I wasn't. Teams ebb and teams flow. Teams go up, teams go down. Teams go up, teams go down. That's how football is. It isn't up all the time, down all the time. A&M bounced back. Still didn't look great offensively. They'll do better this week when they beat Arkansas's overrated ass. So we got that coming up this weekend. Oregon was a much better football team. Oregon beating BYU by 3 touchdowns really has to scare you about Georgia, doesn't it? I mean, my God. And now what's going to happen is now that BYU's lost to Oregon, now that Miami's lost to A&M, it's going to be buy low time on them. People are going to throw them out and say, oh, well, they can't be as good as they lost. But guess what? They are going to be good. They're good teams. Good teams lose in college football. It happens. 8-8 Stool 22. You had a great week on picks. Yes, I did, Brian Bradley. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Take number 4. The Georgia Bulldogs are an 800-pound gorilla with a chainsaw for a dick. That's what Georgia is. I've never met an 800-pound gorilla with a chainsaw for a dick, but I would imagine it would be unpleasant, as is playing the Georgia Bulldogs. They beat Oregon 49-3. Oregon just beat a top 12 team. They beat South Carolina to sleep. South Carolina is probably an average SEC team, and they beat them to sleep. Georgia fans told me in the offseason, said, Brandon, you're stupid. We're not going to lose a game. We're not going to lose 2 games. Our offense is better now, and our defense is going to be just as good. I said, there's no chance your defense can be just as good. You lost so many first-round picks, and your offense will not be elite. Georgia fans 1. Actually, Georgia fans 2. Brandon Walker, nothing. Offense looks elite. Defense looks elite again. They look incredible. They've reached, as of right now, 3 games in, they've reached Alabama status where they just reload. Take number 5. Mississippi State lost to LSU. Take number 6. App State is why we love football. They got game day for the first time in Boone, North Carolina. They then came out and had a Hail Mary. App State is one of those passionate places where a football team is the most important thing in that city, in that town, in that region. And to see them come out to game day the way that they did, I want to speak to game day for a second. Game day, you've been to Alabama 20 million times. You've been to Ohio State 20 million times. You've been to Michigan 20 million times. Use your platform to go to more places like App State because it fucking mattered on Saturday. All right? That's just my friendly advice to you, ESPN. And by the way, you added McAfee. That was pretty strong. But the Brandon Walker College Football Show is a loyal thing, and I still whatever. 8-8 Stool 22. 8-8 Stool 22. Did you tweet out yet, Katie? Depressed. Not enough people are watching. Will you show your titties? How many viewers would Casey Smith's tits get?
It would. We wouldn't even have enough time before we got banned to tell people that had happened.
All right, we would get banned. All right. Well, she did. Me just talking about it made it shoot up 100 just now. So she did offer. Let the record show Casey Smith offered her boobs for this show. She is sitting in the room right now with me. So she did say, what if I showed my boobs? All right, put them away. App State is why we love college football. The Pac-12 is stirring. Take number 7. I got 2 more takes. The Pac-12 is stirring. They are stirring. They are kind of marinating out there, all right? USC looks really good. It's going to be hard to keep up with USC. Washington State went on the road last week, man, and got a big win at Wisconsin. Washington stayed at home and got a big win over over Michigan State this weekend. Oregon State has a couple of nice wins out of conference, Fresno State and Boise State. This conference is not bad. Utah is still good. They're going to have to prove it. They don't have much margin for error, but USC, Utah at the top, and then those teams stirring underneath them. Pac-12 is something to pay attention to, guys. It is something to pay attention to. And my last take. I have never been more right than I'm right about this team and was right about this team in the summer. Kansas, 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 Kansas. And if you are the owner of an AP vote and you didn't vote Kansas in your top 25 this week, shame on you. You're an asshole, and you don't deserve your vote. Because Kansas is 3-0. Kansas is one of the top scoring teams in the country. Kansas has walked to 2 different places. West Virginia, not easy to go play at, and Houston, who's a good football team, and they've won both. They not only are 3-0, they have 2 good wins. That's Kansas football now. Kansas deserves all the respect in the world. Kansas was a laughingstock 12 months ago. They hired Lance Leipold, and that son of a bitch has turned the ship around immediately. Immediately. Kansas, to me, is the best story of college football this season so far. Now, this weekend, they play Duke. 3-0 Kansas, 3-0 Duke. Who had that on their bingo card? Also, why are you playing bingo? 888-STOOL-22. 888-STOOL-22. Lance Leipold can coach his ass off. And you're right, whoever said this, Nathan Carroll. Washington State also deserves to be ranked. Washington State is 3-0 with a road win at a top 20 Big Ten team, and they're not ranked. And some of these fucking Punch and Judy teams are ranked. What the fuck are we doing out there? 888-STOOL-22. Sam Norman says Gophers with Thunder Gun, Kansas. Ah, yes, Sam Norman's one of those pathetic little bitches that if you're not talking about his team, you're wrong. Shut up. Nobody's talking about Minnesota right now, you big-tittied bitch. I can't see him, but I just assume Sam Norman has big titties. 888-STOOL-22. 888-STOOL-22. So we're going to get to calls soon. Brandon, are you ready for Michigan to run the table and win the Big Ten with ease? I'm ready for Michigan to play a fucking football game. As far as I'm concerned, they're nothing and nothing right now. They're 0-0. It's nice for Michigan to join the fucking football season with the rest of us. Welcome to the party, everybody. Michigan ain't running the table either. Penn State's good. Ohio State's good. We'll see. 888-STOOL-22. Florida State's also not bad. Florida State, I can see them being ranked. Although they've kind of survived by the skin of their teeth several times. Where'd I get that shirt? Got it sent to me, brother. No free ads for Roosevelt's. None. What was that? What are you doing?
Get the bag, bro. Secure your own money.
I'm trying to get it. If they can get they can get in the Brandon Walker business whenever they want. Okay? I got many shows, and I'll wear anything you want. 888-STOOL-22. What's wrong with NC State's offense? Nothing. They played a decent team. We start in the state of Texas. And his name is Caden, and he's in Fort Worth. Go ahead, Caden. You're on the Brandon Walker Show with Brandon Walker. You're talking to Brandon Walker, the host of the Brandon Walker Show with Brandon Walker.
Hey, Brandon. Thanks so much for taking my call and letting me be a part of the Brandon Walker Show, hosted by none other than the Brandon Walker.
Yes.
I wanted to put some takes out there. TCU heading over to Dallas, that hellhole this weekend to play the battle for the Iron Skillet. Obviously, going to be a big game for SMU. We're their Super Bowl every single season. Obviously, with Sonny Dykes coming over to TCU, bringing his entire staff, obviously proving that TCU is and has been the superior program over the last several years. I'm looking at the line. I'm seeing SMU's favored actually by 1.5. I think that is a rat line. I think TCU obviously losing the last two meetings at home in Fort Worth. We're going to be pumped for this game. We're going to be ready for this game. I think this is a program-defining type game for TCU. If they go into Dallas and get their ass handed to them for a third year in a row, I think you really kind of got to check yourself and what kind of program you are. So fuck SMU, plain and simple. They're our little brother. They're a shit program. They haven't really been anything ever since Eric Dickerson, Craig James. That guy did, in fact, kill 5 hookers. Want that to be on record. But, yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Thanks so much for taking my call, Brandon.
Thank you. I like the fact that he didn't need me for that call at all. He just needed me to stand back and get out of the way. I tell you one thing. God bless Caden. He's one of my best callers, and I love him. But I'll be goddamn if the first game I talk about to a caller's TCU and SMU. So I'll just let him have his piece, and then I'll move on to Bubs in Iowa. Go ahead, Bubs.
Brandon, Bug Cub Club. Hope you're doing average. First off, a little disappointed you didn't select me first. That's besides the point.
Oh, Caden got in first. You've been holding hold for 25 minutes. Caden was at like 30 minutes, and Caden's he's a frequent flyer too. So I if it were one of these new Johnny Come Latelys, I wouldn't have done it.
Brandon, it started at 4:45. I am calling you guys left and right, just trying to get online.
Okay, sorry.
I'll put that out.
All right.
Anyways, so I have some bad news to start off with. Is BYU just a bad pick I know you picked them to lose to Oregon. Solid pick by you.
Mm-hmm.
But are they overrated?
No. And this is a great chance to buy low on them and buy low on Miami. These are both good football teams. What BYU did was they went on the road and they lost to a good team at their place, and that happens. I think if you brought a gun in here and said, Brandon, tell me BYU's record at the end of the year, I'm going to tell you I think it's 11-1. I don't think they lose again. They're going to beat Arkansas at home. They're going to beat Notre Dame in a neutral site, and then they're going to cruise through their conference. I think BYU is a very good team.
All right, well, fair enough. Can I get some W's in the chat for Bubs in Rough and Rowdy December 19th in Providence, Rhode Island, if that's possible?
We need to get Bubs in Rough and Rowdy, Providence, Rhode Island in December. Did you say December? Okay. W's in the chat for Dubs, for Bubs. Yes, there's one. There's another one. There's a third one. We're all behind you, and I will put the Brandon Walker Show weight behind you as you go get this W. Thank you very much. 888-STOOL-22. Kobe in the state of Texas. Hello, Kobe.
Hey, Brandon, first-time caller. I want to ask you a few questions about Texas. How impressed with you were the win over UTSA? And the next question is, based on what little we've seen of Quinn Ewers and what we know about Arch Manning, who do you think will be more successful at Texas?
I think Quinn Ewers will be. I think Quinn Ewers is going to be an outstanding quarterback who could win the Heisman next year. Arch will be fine. I think Arch will be good when he gets his chance. I think he'll redshirt next year and then take over for Quinn after he goes pro. I think Quinn Ewers is the little I saw of him against Alabama, I think he's one of the best 10 quarterbacks in the country. And I think Texas will be outstanding, and they're perfectly timed, too. You can get 2 years out of Ewers, I guess 1.5 now that whenever he comes back. 2 years out of Ewers, and then a full, whatever career out of Arch Manning. So Texas's quarterback situation couldn't be in better hands right now.
I 100% agree.
And I'm not sure. I wasn't all that impressed with the win over UTSA, but you handle business. Like UTSA is a good team too. So I think it was 41 to something like that. I don't know what it was, but yeah. I mean, Texas is good. Texas is just really, really fucking good team. So I have no doubts about that. Thank you very much for the call. 888-STOOL-22. Let's check in on the YouTube chat. T-Town, Alabama. We all know who the best is. Yeah, Georgia. Mm-hmm. Yours is that guy, Jay Witz. Yep. Arkansas was in a look-ahead spot versus Petrino last week. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard, Kevin Golly. Are you kidding? Arkansas was in a look-ahead spot with Bobby Petrino coming to Arkansas? Really? You're going to look at Bobby Petrino on the other sideline? Don't feed me that bullshit. Arkansas is about to lose their next 4 games. Okay? That's going to happen. 888-STOOL-22. Arkansas and Kentucky. Luke, UT86 says Arkansas and Kentucky are both ranked way too high. Both of them way too high. And I'm an SEC guy, and they're both very overrated. Line 4, Mark in Minnesota. Go, Mark.
Brandon, what's cracking, my man?
Nothing is cracking.
All right, good to hear. My golf has looked pretty good so far this year. We haven't really played a whole lot. We just lost our top wide receiver. If my goal, look, I'm a realistic guy. If my goal is to win the Big Ten West and give somebody around the Big Ten title game, how worried do I have to be about where we're sitting right now?
I think you should be very pleased with where you're sitting. If I had to pick one of the 7 teams to be a fan of in the Big Ten West, I'm picking Minnesota. Absolutely. I think they're good. They don't really, Altman Bell in his 6th year going down today didn't help. But I think they're solid offensively, they're solid defensively, and they're well coached. And I'm not sure every other team can say that. Iowa's solid. They're solid defensively. They suck offensively, and they're not well coached. Wisconsin is solid defensively. They suck offensively. And Minnesota's the most well-rounded of all of them. And their schedule is friendly out of the East. Like Wisconsin has to go to Columbus very soon. That's not good. Iowa has to go to Columbus. So You get the best schedule, too. The only team I would tell you to really watch out for, Northwestern's gone, Nebraska's gone. I'd watch out for Purdue. I know they already got the one conference loss, but I think you can't throw them out yet. They've lost twice, but they've got two very excusable losses. I think it's a Minnesota-Purdue race in the Big Ten West.
I'm just worried we're going to be cornered into a spot where, and Tanner Morgan's fine. He's not a bad quarterback by any means, but I'm worried we're going to get cornered into a spot in a couple important games where we have to rely on him passing the ball and passing it well, and that just seems to be a spot where we falter time and time again.
Well, it helps to have the best running back in college football, and that's what you have in Ibrahim. So you're not going to get into as many bad spots when you have somebody like him who can get whatever he needs. Thank you very much for that call. 888-STOOL-22. I have maybe my favorite subject that's ever appeared here. I'm just going to let him talk. It's Jimmy in Florida. Jimmy, go ahead.
Hello, Brandon. I want to make a statement. I want to know if you agree with it and back it up with some stats. Who's been the most overrated coach in the past decade, and why is it Kirk Ferentz? He's won one Orange Bowl, won 0 Rose Bowls, apparently only goes to Outback Bowls.
Yes.
His biggest win is against your Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Yeah. Keep going.
And I just want to know if you agree with me, because Iowa sucks.
I agree with everything you said. Iowa is consistently a 9-10 win program that doesn't do a goddamn thing. Their offense stinks, and their fans are the biggest bullshit artists in the world. They're bad people that pretend like they're Midwest nice. If that's Midwest nice, then just fucking shoot me, because that's not real. All right? And they like breakfast pizza, so fuck them.
I agree. Row the boat, Scotty Ma, go Gophers.
Maybe the only call-in show in America that went back-to-back with Minnesota Gophers fans. But it is funny how college football works when you have a call-in show and teams start to win, teams start to lose. Like Minnesota fans are going to probably be calling more this year than they've ever called. Like Michigan State fans, I doubt I'll hear from one tonight because they just got embarrassed the other day. So it is interesting. Let's see. Elliot, Jack White, does Anthony Richardson get benched if he fails to throw his first TD against the Vols? Yeah, thank you very much for that, TJ. Gopher. Justin Nobile. Dana Holkerson couldn't beat Syracuse with Geno Smith. Where are Mincy's LSU fans? Did he lose them too? I don't know what that means. All right, make sure take that down because you never know what they're going to say. 888-STOOL-22. Line 6. We're in Wichita, and this guy called in last week, and I shit down his throat, and he has called back to shit right back down mine. Hello, Brandon in Wichita.
Brandon, you dumb slut.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to tell you last week, and you wouldn't listen.
Mm-hmm.
How I wish you would have had a show on Saturday when I was very full of piss and vinegar.
Mm-hmm.
I'm over it now. And I know you're always looking for exciting calls, and I wish you would have had a line open on Saturday. I will go ahead and say Kansas State kind of screwed us, losing to Tulane. I'm going to that game Saturday, and I think it would have had a lot of stakes then.
Yeah.
But my real question is, in the upcoming weeks, so we have K-State, easy win, TCU, smoke them. Then we have Red River on the 8th. Texas will have already lost 2 more games by then probably, so they will have quit. So that's an easy win.
Time.
Hold on.
You hold on. You hold on.
Okay, I'll hold.
Who's Texas losing to in the next 3 weeks?
I don't know. To Tech, and then I don't know who else they even play. My real question was the week after that, Oklahoma has the Kansas Jayhawks coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God we have them at home. I really think in the next 3 weeks, or in the next month, Kansas might be the biggest test for Oklahoma. I think even after this Nebraska game,
well,
you're over them so easily. Go ahead.
You're being a bullshit artist right now, which is fine. I don't mind that. I'm a bullshit artist myself. First of all, I let off the show by telling you how wrong I was about Oklahoma and how this defensive team looks completely different from any Oklahoma defense I've seen in the last decade. So credit to Oklahoma. Brent Venables looks like he's fixed a lot of defensive problems in a hurry. But you are full of shit. And you want to know how I know you're full of shit? Do you want to know how I know you're full of shit?
I want to know.
You're an Oklahoma fan calling me and telling me you don't know who Texas plays in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, you do. You fucking know who Texas plays, and you know that the Red River Shootout is your biggest game of the year, and you know that they're good enough to beat you, and you know that you're very good too, but you know Kansas isn't your big test. You know that Texas is worrisome to you this year, don't you?
What? Hey, when you get the chance to talk shit on Texas and while doing that, pump up the team that beat them last year in the Jayhawks,
yeah.
Would you not take that opportunity?
Fair enough. I don't mind shitting on your rival for sake of shitting on them, but I will just remind you, Kansas beat Texas last year. Ha, 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 ha. They came within an eyelash of beating Oklahoma.
Oh, that game, that was a totally different coach. This is a totally different team.
All right.
You can't. They almost lost to Nebraska, too, last year, and that doesn't matter this year, right?
Thank you very much for the call. I can sniff out college football bullshittery better than anybody in the world. We'll go to Joey in Manhattan. Brother, I'm right there with you, Joey, but thanks for calling. What's up?
Brandon, we lost to Tulane, man.
We
lost to Tulane, and
you did.
You know the worst part of it?
What is it?
Is that nothing that happened in that game, everything that happened in that game is only half of it.
Yeah, your problem was it wasn't fluky.
No, what I'm saying is everything that happened in that game that was bad is only half the issue, because meanwhile, our rival, who we've stomped for 13 years, is all of a sudden good on the same day that we lose to Tulane.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Kansas State losing to Tulane and Kansas beating Houston on the road in the same day is about as big of a turnaround as you can have in college football. Kansas State, yeah, that's rough, Joey. But it's early. It's early yet, okay? It's early. I'm not going to let you get down on yourself. You got talent.
Yeah. Adrian Martinez isn't good, man.
He's not. You know what sucks?
No.
I have a caller on the show. His name is DeCucci from Toronto. He called in last week, and he said, Brandon, take Tulane money line over Kansas State. I said, you're fucking crazy. You're fucking out.
Oh, I was watching.
Yeah.
I was watching, and I had the same reaction.
He was right, Joey.
Yeah, he was. All right, but by Friday, I'm gonna convince myself we're beating Oklahoma.
Oh yeah, by Thursday I might be there with you. Thank you very much, 888-STOOL22. 2 lines available right now if you want to hop on them. 2 lines available. Oh, there he is. Actually, I gotta get to him. Friend, DeCucci from Toronto. I take my hat off. I put it in my hand. I want to apologize to you. You called in last week, and you said, Brandon, Tulane's beating Kansas State, and I said you are out of your mind. DeCucci, I bow to your college football knowledge.
As much as I would like to take a victory lap here, Brandon, a blind squirrel finds a nut sometimes every once in a while, and
that was going to be a good call. That was going to be a good call. I'll never forget you, DeCucci. I guess his phone just cut out on him.
That, Brandon, that was muted. That's my fault.
All right.
I'll just skip to the question. What game are you more interested in watching this weekend, Tennessee and Florida, or Clemson Wake Forest? Personally, I got a lot of interest in this Clemson Wake Forest game. I think it probably decides the division and has a little bit of impact on who we see in the college football playoff. I'll hang up and listen.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Clemson Wake Forest way more interesting than Tennessee Florida, because Florida's not any good. They're just not. Anthony Richardson stinks. I don't know. One of the biggest flukes in the world is them beating Utah. So Tennessee's going to kill Florida. I'm not worried about that one. But Wake Forest is just kind of laying there. They are laying there in wait, and they were good last year. And then Sam Hartman has medical issues, but he's already back, and he's throwing the fucking pill around. Of course, they did just beat Liberty by a point. But, man, what a look-ahead spot. Yeah, Clemson Wake Forest is one of the games of the weekend. 888-STOOL22. Max in Cleveland. Go ahead, Max.
Hey, Brandon. I just wanted to know why you were singling out Michigan for having for having an easy schedule, and Oklahoma, USC, and Clemson also played nobody, and Michigan historically plays tough non.
Time. Say those teams again.
Oklahoma,
Okay.
Clemson, and USC.
Well, Clemson plays a Power 5 out-of-conference team in South Carolina every year.
They struggled.
Okay, that's fine. USC plays Notre Dame, and then who's Oklahoma? I mean, Nebraska is at least attempting to schedule a game. You motherfuckers scheduled Hawaii, UConn, and Colorado State, and you want to say, well, what about this? What about this team? What about that team? What about that team? All those teams at least attempted to do something. Michigan played the pussiest non-conference in the country, and you want to say, what about everybody else? Listen, Michigan's a great team, a very good team, a playoff contender. I can tell you got a bad schedule because you know why? You got a bad schedule. Stop trying to put it off on USC, who plays Notre Dame. Stop trying to put it off on Oklahoma, who went to Nebraska. Look in the fucking mirror and say, why do we do this?
The only reason Michigan doesn't play Notre Dame is because they chickened out of us.
And the only reason you don't play UCLA this year is because you chickened out and paid $1.5 million to not play the fucking series.
I mean, I guess.
Not I guess. Fucking mic drop, you dumb Michigan bitch. That's right. I'm right. You're wrong. Michigan fans, it's okay. Nobody's judging your character. Nobody's judging your program for the long haul. We're judging your 2022 schedule. You call in and try to say, what about this team? What about that team? What about that team? You better have your facts right because you're going to get fucking embarrassed. I'm so good at this, Casey. I know. Woo. I don't mind Michigan, but I do mind stupid college football fans. Well, yeah, you're just making fun of us because we're playing a bad schedule, but you should make fun of Alabama, who just played Texas. Yeah, but we had a hard schedule in 2014. Okay, well, this is 2022. Line 10. Thomas in Chicago, go ahead.
Hey, Brandon, I got 3 takes. With the Georgia, I feel like we should, instead of just like us saying that they're going to drop off, I feel like we should say how much of a different team they are going to be from last year to this year, because I feel like they're passing the ball more, obviously with Bowers. So I feel like instead of saying that they're going to take a step back, how they're going to change the team. So it looks like instead of last year where they just down on defense, they're more passing, more spreading the ball out, like they did against Oregon. Then my other take is, do you think the whole USC is rethinking their move to the Big Ten with the whole how they've been playing against the Pac-12 and then how good the Pac-12 is this year?
No, because Michigan, when USC goes to the Big Ten, they're going to print money every year. They're going to be the cash cow for the Big Ten on that side of the country, and the Big Ten is going to make them think the Pac-12 never even existed. So while the Pac-12 is playing better, and I like it, and it makes it interesting, the fact is that was the second USC got to the Big Ten, they signed $1 billion with a B dollar TV deal. So I think they're going to be crying into their pillows full of $100 bills every night.
Okay, and then with your whole, I know you just went off again on a Michigan fan. Do you think, as an Oregon fan, to me, I mean, that's a terrible loss, but I feel like losing to Georgia kind of like gave us like a jolt of like, holy fuck, this is what, like, we beat BYU by like 3 touchdowns. Yeah. I feel like, yes, it's good to schedule hard games, but it's also look in the mirror to know, okay, we're not on Georgia level, so this is what we need to do to get on their level.
Well, yeah, no, it
makes sense.
Georgia holds a big mirror to every program right now. All these elite teams hold a big mirror to you. If you play them and you get destroyed, they show you what's wrong with your team. They show you where you're lacking. But the one thing is, Oregon's got 11 games this year that are not Georgia, and those 11 games are going to tell the story of what Oregon is. I'm almost to the point where you just don't even need to worry about they act like the Georgia game never even happened because it's not going to matter in the end. Thank you very much for the call. How's my YouTube-ites doing? How's my YouTube? The lines won't work? No, they work. They're just full, Bo Stevens. They're just full the whole time. TJ, are you a Giants fan? Who cares about TJ?
I am a Giants fan, but
also who cares about TJ?
I don't really care that much about it.
Do you like college football?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite college football team?
Tulane.
Cool. Fun fact, the last year Tennessee beat Florida, Vanderbilt beat Georgia. That is a fun fact. Won't happen this year. 8-8 Stool 22.
Are you going to bet the under in Rutgers, Iowa?
I bet it twice if I could.
35?
I bet double the under. Kevin in Boston. Hello, Kevin.
What's up, Brandon? How's it going? Just wanted to call you about the Oklahoma Brent Venables deal. I was sitting there watching the game on Saturday, and it just made me really think how much of a sneaky blessing in disguise it was for Oklahoma that, Lincoln Riley went over to USC because, now they're playing a less of a pussy-style football for the imminent move to the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
So just wanted to get your thoughts on that, I think they'll be much better versus going to the SEC with Venables. And also, which underdog do you think is a better chance of covering this weekend, Baylor or Wake Forest?
I said when they hired him, long-term, this is a great hire for Oklahoma because he's going to get rid of that pussy pillow fight style of football. They're going to need to be better defensively with better athletes, better speed, better toughness, and they're going to need to get that way to go into the SEC. I didn't think he'd do it by week 3 of his first season. They look completely different defensively. They don't miss tackles. They don't really miss assignments. They're a well-coached football team on defense, and Oklahoma's been a sloppy brand defensively for a decade. So I think it's fantastic. I think he is the right hire. We'll see when they play tougher games. I don't remember what the rest of your call was about, but whatever. I bet it was good. Sorry, I had MJF on wrestling today. MJF was on wrestling. That's out right now. In Boston. It's the second straight Oklahoma call. We go to Jared in OKC, which I think is in Oklahoma. Go ahead, Jared.
Hey, Brandon. I just wanted to say, first off, that this is the end of an era for Oklahoma football because this is the last season that Oklahoma will play Nebraska, Oklahoma State, and Texas in the same season. So that's great.
Yeah, well, good for you guys. That's been 3 wins recently. So yeah.
Yeah, it is 3 wins because Oklahoma's going to shit pump Texas.
Well, we'll see. I think Texas is a hell of a lot better than Nebraska, but Oklahoma looks very good. Texas looks very good. I think it's going to be the most interesting Red River shootout. Is that right? No, I said it the wrong way. Red River rivalry in a long time. I think it's going to be a hell of a game.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. That game is crazy every single year, and so is Bedlam.
That's true.
I'm sad about going to the SEC and missing out on Bedlam every year. I wish they could work that in.
I think it's bullshit. I don't know which one of y'all is to blame, but and Texas A&M and Texas did it. If you're rivals, play every year. Play. Figure it out. Figure it the fuck out and play every year. I know Oklahoma State's probably mad because Oklahoma's gone off to the land of milk and honey to make a lot of money, but play. Figure it out. You're doing a disservice to your in-state fans to not play each other.
Exactly. Never bet against Oklahoma again, Brandon Walker. You see what happened down there in Death Valley when you bet against Oklahoma. You saw what happened.
You're saying that me betting against Oklahoma is what made Mississippi State lose in Baton Rouge.
Exactly.
Exactly. Jared, one quick question before you go. Are you motherfucking stupid?
Are you? Because you bet against Oklahoma, Nebraska.
I bet against Oklahoma. Yeah, I bet against Oklahoma. I bet against a lot of teams. Oklahoma. Shut up.
Oklahoma in the fucking over.
And Oklahoma proved me wrong. But me betting against Oklahoma didn't make my team lose in Baton Rouge.
Yes, it's called karma. You
think karma looks out for who bets against your football team? You magnificent vagina. Magnificent Vagina, new band name. Got it. Mine. It's my new band. Brandon Walker and the Magnificent Vaginas. Hey man, we gotta go to club night. The Magnificent the Mag Vags are playing. Vags with a V. Careful. All right. 8-8 Stool 22. Any words to add to the growing pressure that you'll look like a fool for your Mike Norvell slander, Zach Fossen? See, college football fans are the biggest pussies in the world. Nobody slandered Mike Norvell more than Florida State fans. So is there any pressure for you? You fucking degenerate, you fucking illiterate Florida State Walmart piece of shit. They look good. They look good. They don't look great. 8-8, still 22. Line 4. Tim in Tennessee. Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top. Rocky Top, Tennessee. Go ahead, Tim.
Oh, you're damn right, brother. So I just had 2 quick questions for you. So how bad do you think Tennessee's going to whoop Florida's ass? And what do you think about your shit old head coach Joe Moorhead going for knees last game? This stupid fucking team Akron.
Well, I didn't see Akron going for knees, so I can't really speak on that. I do think Tennessee is going to beat the shit out of Florida. I think Tennessee is going to be one of those spots Tennessee's been dying for. It's a CBS game. Game day is going to be there. Barstool College Football Show is going to be there. It's a huge spotlight game for Tennessee, and I think they're about to beat the piss out of Florida, who's not a very good football team. So I do agree with that, but I don't know. I didn't see Akron. If you made me watch Akron, Tennessee, I think I would just gouge my eyes out.
All I can say is fucking cowbell sucks. You suck, Brandon Walker.
I just gave your team flowers. You stayed on 17 minutes to tell me I suck and cowbell suck. I just told you how good Tennessee is.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry your team sucks and can't beat LSU.
Okay, fine. That's fine. You realize Tennessee plays LSU soon in Baton Rouge, so you might want to be careful.
When was the last time Mississippi State won anything?
We won the baseball national title last year.
Huh?
We won the national championship in baseball last year.
Who cares?
Well, when's the last time Tennessee won anything?
Should have won last year in baseball. I'm sorry.
This is the dumbest human being I've ever talked to. Are you calling me from Phil Fulmer's nutsack? What? Who the fuck? This is the dumbest human being. How did you dial a phone, you fucking inbred piece of shit? How did you get through to this line, Tim?
I'm sorry, brother. I didn't mean to be so mean, but have a great evening, Brandon Walker. You suck.
He's got me in a pretzel now. I gotta be honest. He zigged, he zagged, and I was like, I had him cornered, and then he said, "I'm sorry," and I softened up again. Tim in Tennessee. That was something. I don't know. I loved him. I liked him. He was good. Very dumb, but he was a good kind of dumb. Aaron in Kansas, what's up?
How's it going?
Good. What's up?
I'm doing fantastic. My Jayhawks are 3-0 and relevant for the first time since we won the Orange Bowl. I called to ask how long, realistically, if Leipold keeps this up, he turned us around real quick. How long do you think he's staying in Kansas?
Stop. Do not do this. Don't fucking do this. If you're a Kansas fan, you've been in the desert for over a decade. You've been the worst program in the country for over a decade. You have finally gotten – somebody has flown in on a helicopter and parachuted in, and they're on the ground, and they gave you CPR, and as soon as you stand up, you're like, well, are you going to leave? I mean, let the man help you, okay? Let the man help you. Lance Leipold's a great coach. He's also a loyal coach. He stayed at Wisconsin, Whitewater, wherever it was. He stayed there for a while. He won championships. He stayed at Buffalo. Now he's staying at Kansas. All right? Don't worry about it. Don't get scared. All right? You matter right now in college football. Enjoy it.
Right. I get that. I'm just the main concern is my brother is a fucking huge Nebraska fan. I'm just terrified, even though they're absolute dog shit. And like you've been saying for the last couple of weeks, they've lost pretty much all their grab within the region. I'm just terrified they're going to come knocking and prime, or he's going to go somewhere. Realistically, the ideal situation in my eyes is he's a loyal guy. He stays around, and fuck it, maybe he'll be our equivalent to fucking Bill Snyder.
What you're doing right now is you're laying in bed with the hottest woman you've ever laid with, and you're worried about who she's going to have sex with next. Focus on her.
Also, fair. And then the last thing I gotta say is, based off of what you said earlier in the show, the ESPN's absolute fucking cowards for not bringing College Game Day to Lawrence. We deserve it. Fuck them.
All right, thank you very much. 888 still 22. 888-STOOL-22. The chat got me and you fighting a rough and rowdy, TJ?
I wouldn't do that.
I know.
I would fight in rough and rowdy.
You wouldn't fight me.
Yeah, I wouldn't want your kids to be that embarrassed. It's not fair to you as a man.
TJ, I would fuck you up, okay? I would fuck you up. All right? You hear me? I said, don't worry about the show right now. The show's going to take care of itself. I would fuck you up.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, brother.
Jack in Lexington, which is in Kentucky. Go ahead, Jack.
Hey, Brandon. I'm just trying to figure out what Will Levis and the Kentucky offense has to do to gain your respect. I mean, is it going to be at Ole Miss? I know it's not going to be against South Carolina. I know it's not going to be against your 3-3 Mississippi State Bulldogs when they roll in here. What do they have to do? When do I get to call you back and tell you how wrong you were about Will Levis? Is it going to be Halloween after Tennessee?
Well, I tell you what, I don't think he needs to be 109th in the country with 4 interceptions through fucking 3 weeks of the season against bad football teams. I don't think you're going to impress me with a QB rating that's 74th in the country of 53.3 against a schedule that has been a joke so far. I don't think being 22nd in the country in yards is going to impress anybody. So what do you think? When do you think he's going to impress me? When is the light bulb going to go on for Will Levis? You guys have him as the number 1 pick. You have him as this. You have him as that. All I said was you have a good program with a quarterback you're overrating. And you know what? You're overrating him right now. The guy's not been very good. He has not been very good. So to pretend otherwise is to lie. And I'm not going to do it. Other guys can lie to you. But Will Levis is not a great quarterback. Sorry it bothers you.
Brandon, I cannot wait for Will Levis.
Will Levis is 37th in the country in touchdown passes. Will Levis is 109th with 4 interceptions. Will Levis is 22nd with passing yards. Will Levis is 74th in QB rating. And that's whose dick you're sucking on the air right now.
Well, I mean, it's done the job so far. We're 3-0.
That's so pathetic. You're 3-0. You got a good win against Kentucky. All right? He played a decent first half, and then he didn't have to do anything in the second half. And then you beat who?
Youngstown State.
Uh-huh. And who else?
Florida.
And who else?
Miami, Ohio.
All right. Good day, Jack. Jack, you failed miserably, and all you people at that dick-headed ass frat in Kentucky can stop calling me for the day. Thank you. There's bodies getting stacked out here today, all right? I've stacked a couple bodies. I've had my body stacked a couple times. Bodies are getting stacked. Who else's body did I stack? Oh, the Michigan fan. Stacked his ass up like cordwood. Give them both 6 months, and I think Brandon would do well. I would never, ever lay a hand on TJ. All right? It's very valuable to the Brandon Walker empire. But if I did, I'd fuck him up. Teach?
I'm focused on Iowa right now.
They're not going to tear us apart, Teach. They're not going to do it. I'm not going to let them do it.
I don't have the attention span for that sort of thing.
I'm not going to let them do it. But if I did, I'd. Ian in OKC, go ahead.
Hey, what's good, Brandon? Listen, I heard you talk about Florida and Tennessee. I think you think that Tennessee's going to blow them out. I want to be so. Florida is weird things and routines again. And then,
Ian, you're going to have to call back and try again. I'm sorry. The phone's just cutting out. I don't want to do this to people. You're going to have to call back and try again. Didn't work. Blake in South Carolina. Go ahead, Blake.
Hello?
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 I got two hot takes for you. Oregon State, 9:30, Corvallis, Oregon, upset over the University of Southern California, and Sam Hartman continues what he did last year and beats the hell out of Clemson. Fuck Clemson, go Cox.
Thank you very much for the call. Love when somebody calls and passionately predicts a loss for their rival. Like, we just saw you lose to Georgia. 888-STOOL-22. Caleb in Colorado, the Sunshine State. What's up?
Yeah, hey, Brandon. First of all, do you think Texas is back? And second, do you think that if Texas is back, that the Big 12 still runs through Oklahoma?
Well, how would the Big 12 run through Oklahoma if Baylor won it last year?
Well, look at the last, fucking 10 years. You tell me.
Well, I just want to look at the last 1 year because the defending champion is Baylor. So I think it's proven the Big 12 doesn't really run through there as much as it did because they're not the current champion.
Okay, so if you had to bet right now, you're saying that you don't think Oklahoma's going to win it this year?
I think the winner of Oklahoma-Texas will win the Big 12, yes.
All right, so do you think Texas is back?
I do think Texas is back. I think Texas is 10-2 at worst. I think they're going to handle most of their schedule. I think Quinn Ewers, if we can get Quinn Ewers back, we're really rolling. But I think Texas is a very good football team. I think Oklahoma is a very good football team.
Who do you think will win?
Okay, give me two scenarios. If Hudson Card plays, Oklahoma will win. If Texas plays, I think if Quinn Ewers plays, I think Texas could win that game.
All right.
Okay. Good call. Good call. He didn't like the answer, but at least he handled it. Austin and Kansas. Boy, it's a Kansas call-in show now. Go ahead, Austin.
It's a Kansas talk show now, Brandon.
All right.
Lance Leipold is not going to leave KU for these reasons. We're a dog shit program, or have been for some time.
Well, that didn't help.
We're still willing to put $330 million into a facility in a stadium where no one fucking goes to till now. And he stayed in Wisconsin Whitewater for 10 years, and then Buffalo for 6.
That's fine, but
pay the man $5 or $6 million a year. I don't see the reason why he leaves and goes to Nebraska, a program in decline.
I don't think he's going to leave either. But you did just call and say, here's why he's not going to leave. We're a dog shit program that doesn't go to games. You said that.
Yeah, I said that. We've been dog shit since Mangina. We were bad before that. But we're willing to pay people to make us at least mediocre.
I don't think he's going to leave, and I'll tell you why. I think guys like him, he's been around a while. I don't think he's going to get convinced by shiny. He's not going to be a grass is greener guy. He's not going to get tricked by a bigger program and just thinking it's automatically better. He knows the lay of the land, and Kansas is the program that gave him his breakthrough opportunity. So I think he's probably going to stay, but we'll see. Money does trump all. So I have an itch on my eye.
Chris DeSant donated 50 Swedish krona and said, "Can USC secure its own playoff spot, or do they need a Clemson or someone else to lose to get in?"
No,
Brandon Walker College Football Show has a ton of fans in Sweden.
If they go 12-0, they're going to be in regardless. They get their own spot. They can absolutely get their own spot. They're not gonna. They got name value. They'll have a good schedule. USC would be fine if they went 12-0. Line 3, Aaron in Texas. Go.
Hey, how's it going, Brandon?
Great. What's up?
So I want to talk about how I think NC State is poised to I would say almost easily win the ACC after seeing how just dog shit DJ Uiagalelei looks at Clemson.
Yeah,
I think they've walked through Clemson in a couple weeks. I think that Clemson could lose this weekend to Wake Forest.
Let me ask you this.
I just think NC State's really poised.
Let me ask you this. What have you seen out of Clemson that has taken you so far down that you didn't see out of NC State, who won 21-20 at East Carolina?
Okay. The East Carolina game, I kind of throw it out. It's a close game. East Carolina, it's their Super Bowl.
Well, if we can throw games out, why not throw games out where DJ's bad?
All right. You don't have to throw it out, but I also want to. You have to look at it and say, well, they left twice from within the 5 that with 0 points.
against East Carolina's defense.
Yeah, but I think that NC State's defense is looking better and better every week. I think Clemson's looking worse and worse every week. I don't think DJ is the guy for them.
Yeah.
And I think NC State has that dog in them. I think that they are poised to make a run. I think that if they go 12-0, they have a shot at the playoff. I think.
Well, here's my prediction.
Solid wins over Clemson.
And yeah, if NC State went 12-0, they would be in the playoff. But I think NC State will not win the ACC. I also think Clemson will not win the ACC. I think the Miami Hurricanes will win the ACC.
No shot after you saw that Texas A&M game. You think Miami wins the ACC?
There you go. I'm glad you did that. College football fans are so dumb. A team loses a game, and then they're trash, they're this, they're that, they're that. They went on the road.
It's not one game.
It is one game. You just called out one game.
Yeah, but I'm saying that no shot after seeing them play Texas A&M, who has a stout defense.
Stop. So here's what you do. Here's what you're doing. No chance this team that looked bad in a loss to A&M can win the conference. But this team over here that beat ECU by 1, they're going to be fine. You either do it for one or you don't do it at all. I mean, do it for all of them or don't do it. Because NC State has a game where they looked a hell of a lot worse than Miami looked the other night. I got to train y'all to be better, smarter football fans. Because I ain't doing this shit.
You really think Miami's going to win the ACC, though?
I do. I predicted it. I said Miami's going to go 10-2. They're going to lose to A&M. They're going to lose to Clemson in the regular season. And they're going to beat Clemson in the championship game. That's what I said. And that's what I still believe.
I would like Wake Forest to win for personal reasons.
Because you're a deacon.
I bet $200 on them to win the ACC in April.
Very quickly, Sean in South Georgia, go.
Hey, Brandon, what's going on?
Oh, what's up, man?
Not much. Big Georgia Bulldog fan here. I'm really glad they opened up the offense and passing the ball more.
Yep.
I want to get your take on the over or under 99.5 passes attempted when Georgia comes into Starksville.
By both teams?
Yeah.
Oh, I would say over because State's probably going to be behind all night and throwing every single down. We'll probably throw no, because Stetson probably won't need to throw it that much. 99? Nah, probably under. I'd say like 60 for us, like 30 for Stetson.
They're 1-2 in ACC passing yards right now.
Yeah, well, my guy kind of stunk the other night, so I can't brag about him right now. Your guy is going to be a Heisman finalist, and he doesn't even have to throw any hard pass. Brock Bowers is the dumbest thing in the world. How Brock Bowers is the best – he's a freak. He's a fucking freak.
Anytime you can put a tight end on the end around and
right,
make it look.
If you throw an 8-yard slant to a receiver and he breaks it, okay, whatever. If you throw an 8-yard slant to a tight end and he breaks 3 ankles and scores a 60-yard touchdown, I mean, that's not fair. You shouldn't be able to do that. Thank you very much. It's going to be the last of the calls tonight. I might go long one night. I'm not going to go long tonight. But everybody that's on hold, you didn't quite get in. So Trey in Memphis, 317-910-706-919-662. That's Mississippi. Show over? Oh, show's 7 seconds past over. YouTube, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Falcon, FSU Brando, Pete Schwerin, Blake W., Soviet Penguin, Kentucky Fried. Love you all. Goodbye.